With the recent update towards Pokemon Go for the new season, we have also 3 new Pokemon that got announced that are going to be entering this season as well. So 3 completely new Pokemon that are going to be in Pokemon Go for the first time. And we're going to take a look today on which one's going to be very good for them, which ones have some potential, and which ones are mostly never going to be strong. But trust me, there are some in here today that are going to be quite interesting. So let's start off with the first one. The first event is going to be here, Journey to Paldea, with a Knuckles deck as well as Garganacl. I have no idea if that's how you say it, but this is going to be a Pokemon from the last generation that is, I think, Salt. I think that's what it's supposed to be. But it is going to be a very interesting Pokemon. We have the event here coming up as well. This event is already revealed, going to be starting on the 2nd of December, which is kind of interesting as well. This is the final day actually of this season, so I can't actually try it out directly in the current season. I'm going to take a look at it more say still in this season. But this Pokemon is going to get revealed here as well. And there are 2 different kind of interesting Pokemon out of this one. They have a Knuckles deck as well as Garganacl, which is going to be both very good. Otherwise, the event itself though is kind of cool as well. We're going to have Shaybu, Steel Larvitar, as well as the Bagon, which are going to be only available at certain days though. You see it here as well. There's like kind of featured Pokemon, and then there's like, I think, Community Day in the middle of it. I have no idea. But it's kind of what you're going to have here. You're going to get it in the wild though, the new Pokemon, which is the most important thing, and mostly through quests as well. But yeah, having a wild spawn is kind of nice, and we can take a look at what they can do. And this is something that I can tell you already. They can do something based on at least their stats. Look at the pre-evolution having 2106 overall. Look at the evolution having even more. Like, the evolution is actually better to go for anyway, unless you want to run both of them, which I don't think anybody wants to do. But Garganacl and the pre-evolutions are going to be pure rock type Pokemon. They have a signature move in the main series games as well, which we can take a look at later on as well, which we most likely going to see eventually in the game at least. But what we're going to see here today is going to be on how good they're going to perform, and what we see as well is going to be the moveset. Right now, they have Mudshot and Smackdown in the game, as well as we're going to have a Rock Tomb, Ancient Power, and Rock Blast as moves here for this Pokemon. To be fair, I could see that a Rock Blast could be better than Ancient Power actually on it, because it's a bit cheaper, but let's take a look at what they can do here right now. In the current Open Grade League, of course, it's going to change a little bit on how the Open Grade League is going to be as well later on, but it's not going to change to a point where it really affects those Pokemon here. But as you can see, actually going to be able, with a Mudshot, to be able to beat something like Bastion was kind of cool. And here on the right side, Garganacl is going to be actually able to beat quite a lot of Pokemon with Mudshot. The Golisopod you're going to be able to beat, the Tinkaton you're going to be able to beat. It's not a bad Pokemon at all, but as you can see as well, we don't really need the pre-evolution. Rock Tomb is already kind of cool. I just want to see real quick for myself as well on how a Rock Blast is going to perform forward. Now, if this is going to be better or worse. It looks, I think, a bit better actually for it. Because that's the thing, you want to go basically 90% of the time for Mudshot Rock Tomb on this Pokemon anyway. And having a good bait move is, I think, better for this Pokemon than anything else. And so, I do think that Garganacl is going to be alright. I don't think it's going to be too broken by any means, but it's going to be a very solid Pokemon. And also, you can play it in the Ultra League, and it just has a very good stat product, which is kind of the main reason why you would want to run it. And again here, I do think that most likely Rock Tomb, Rock Blast is going to be the best moveset for this thing, just to finish off Pokemon, just to have a little bit of a cheaper move here to go for. I think makes more sense than for Ancient Power, where you have the 10% chance of boosting your own attack and defense up by one stage. But Garganacl here as well, which you're going to see, is going to be an interesting Pokemon from the recent generation. What we're going to see here as well is that this Pokemon is going to have interesting sets. And of course, the obvious one is you would like to have a better fast move than Mudshot. Mudshot is here. There is not really anything that you can have here. As you're going to see as well, Earthquake is going to be a great coverage move that we could learn in the future maybe. We have Salt Cure, which is going to be the one that you kind of can get just as a signature move, which would be maybe a cool fast move for this Pokemon as well. As it's kind of very similar to what, I guess it's not actually that, it's very unique in what it can do. It's more similar in terms of doing like consistent damage to the opponent, like Fire Spin would do, for example. But yeah, we don't have this move in the game yet. Hammer Arm would be a move that I would love to see in the game, by the way. It's like a fighting type move that drops your defense. Oh no, actually drops your attack, I think, in the main, like in Pokemon Go now, it drops your speed basically in the main series games, so it will drop your attack here in this case. Would be a cool move to be added, because a lot of Pokemon would learn a Hammer Arm as well. But as you can see as well, it learns a lot of moves, but they're not really that beneficial as like fast moves. They have some cool charge moves like Avalanche could learn, Ice Punch, Thunder Punch, Fire Punch would be great coverage. We have yeah, the moves that I already learned basically. We have Iron Head, Flash Cannon, it's like Steel type coverage, Heavy Slam, which is a little bit better even there than at least Flash Cannon. We have Earth Power, which would be better than Earthquake. But what we see as well, Media Beam would be cool to have like a boosted move on it. We don't see a great fast move at all. There's no great fast move this Pokemon currently learns. It would need to get a new fast move in the game, which Salt Cure could be in the future. But generally speaking, this Pokemon itself and the event itself, good to have. It's a good Pokemon to have for the future of Pokemon Go. I think it's going to be a good Pokemon in PvP eventually at least, but currently it is not. But still nice to have, right? So, next one is going to be on the screen here, and I always forget the name of this Pokemon, but I know that the evolution is going to be Grapploct, which is going to be a Pokemon that has great charge moves and Superpower and Ice Punch. Issue is it's a pure fighting type Pokemon. I don't know why they don't put it water fighting, would be cooler here, I guess. But yeah, you have Ice Punch, you have Brick Break, you have Surf. Ice Punch is mostly the best together with the Superpower covering also the flying type weakness of this Pokemon. As Waterfall is the best fast move, and as you can see, Rock Smash is the other move that you have. And with this, you have a very much mediocre moveset and a mediocre Pokemon. It beats Bastion quite hard, it beats the Clodsire as well as the Fortress here. If it drills the fast move, it has a chance, but otherwise it just doesn't. The thing is here as well, which you can see as well, the best, I went through all of the Pokemon already and to see on what they can learn in theory at least. There is no great fast move again. I would like to see Whirlpool as a fast move in the game though, but it's not in the game yet. But there's nothing really great here. Brutal Swing would be a good move to have on this Pokemon as well, but there's no good fast move basically that this Pokemon can learn. There is like no of the good fighting type fast moves that this Pokemon can learn, which means the best fast move that it learns is Sucker Punch, and this would make this Pokemon of course quite a bit better, but it doesn't make it broken either, and yeah, it would need Sucker Punch in order to be good. Maybe they're gonna give it still before it gets released, because they can of course do that. But we can now move on to the final Pokemon that got revealed in the recent trailer, which is Carkol, I think it's called there. It's definitely the Pokemon here, and I think it's called Roly-Coly or something. It's either the German or the English name, I have no idea actually. But those are going to be the Pokemon that you mainly want to focus on. We don't know when this is going to be revealed. I'd assume somewhere during December still, if it's revealed that early already. But Carkol and Coalossal are going to be amazing Pokemon, because they already have amazing move pool. They have Smackdown, which you don't really want to run. Yeah, they have Incinerate. And they have Rock Slide and they have Flame Charge, which is great, because Rock Slide is just quite cheap. Flame Charge is going to boost your own attack up, and basically it's the same, of course, typing as, for example, I forgot the name of it, Magcargo it's called. But as you can see here, it's bulkier than Magcargo and has cheaper moves than Magcargo, which can be quite beneficial. And also it can boost its own attack up, which Magcargo cannot do. So it can, like, Magcargo has the benefit of having Rock Tomb, which I do think this Pokemon would learn in theory as well, but not in the game right now. And what we see as well, Coalossal and the Pre-Evolution are very similar in terms of the stats. The Pre-Evolution is a tiny bit better, but Coalossal is generally more say the Pokemon that you rather want to build, because it's cheaper to build and it's basically no difference, as you can see here as well. They do very much the same, and they are very, very good in what they can do. It's going to be a very, very good Pokemon to have. Of course, you're going to have two double weaknesses in water as well as ground, but as you're going to see, it's going to be a very cool Pokemon to have. And the cool thing as well is that you can run Coalossal as well for the Open Ultra League, where this Pokemon is also going to be dominating. So, like, this is going to be by far the most interesting of the three Pokemon that got kind of revealed here. And so this is kind of it for this video. This is going to be the Pokemon you want to focus on. We don't know when it's coming out yet. This Pokemon, if it gets Sucker Punch, it would have a bit of play, but more say it won't. And then Nacli is going to be something for the future as well, if it ever gets a better fast move, but it generally has great stats. So generally for PvP, it's not a bad thing at all. Like, all of those Pokemon have a bit of play, at least in theory, for PvP. I do think again that the Grapploct mostly doesn't really have ever any play. I don't. It's like a lot of those Pokemon that's mostly never going to be special in any kind of way in Pokemon Go, which is kind of sad, of course. But it's going to be the first video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully this helped you out as well for what's coming up for Pokemon Go generally there as well. And yeah, a few Pokemon that are coming up that are going to be interesting. And if you want to see a video about Pokemon that have not been released yet that might be interesting as well, then let me know down below and I will maybe make one for that. See you then. Bye bye.